iDiskiTimes, now available in stores around the country for only R3.50.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. Another weekend, another bunch of fixtures. So many fixtures happening all over the world. There's an Australian Open happening. That, of course, relates to betting because you can go to wsb.co.za and put your money on Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and all those guys, or Dominic Thiem, and everyone else. Naomi Osaka, if you fancy her to be the women's champion. Of course, that's one of our favorite tennis players. There's cricket, there's everything else on the menu. But we'll talk about the CAF competition fixtures, especially the South African representation in the CAF competitions. That's Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. Chiefs couldn't play because of what you've heard or read in the news as well. Won't dwell too much on that. Tso Vilakazi, our expert, our analyst here. So Sundowns, let's start with them. They're taking on Al Hilal. It's at home and they're playing against champions in Sudan, a team that's doing well, no loss in 5 matches, top of the table in Sudan. So it's going to be a very, very tough encounter for Sundowns.
Nguleko ngiqale ngibulise wena mfethu, bulisu Junior, bulisu Justice lapha ya. Nani bafethu nginibulise lapha emakhaya ukuthi please man lokho nisupporta njalo. So ibeka nje job injalo asichike futhi.
Sure. Tough encounter.
Nguleko you know, those days I used to say I love playing big games because that's where you see the best of the players. You know, champions, 2 champions are playing. So you don't need motivation from the coaches. Now as a player, this is a big game. Champions League, it's never been a game for any team or any player. They will tell you about the Champions League. It's not an easy one. Sundowns, they need to be very careful. Why in Shwanjal? Because they're playing at home, but yes, I believe in them. I trust them. You know, it's just that you know recently ama minor mistakes and sometimes they cost them in terms of getting good results in my gaming. So I hope what they were doing just to get if Mababuya Champions League certain players are injured, who's gonna come in on that? That's how I see it now. But I don't know. We are only playing in Africa. Sometimes somebody will limele, somebody will cola, and then somebody now they need to change the team. So I think maybe we change our players line up because they wanted to balance that. Because it's very important each and every player must be ready to play. So I think I'm changing swabo fitness for the players it be almost the same so that CAF then they can rest certain players but Kulego is going to be a very tough one for Sundowns. They're not playing just a team, but they're playing against champions as Sudan. That's not an easy team. We all know that team in a history. Nkulego whereby iyaphazamisa kakhulu all these big teams, but I believe with Sundowns, with the quality abanayo and the depth abanayo and the technical team, you know, they're very smart. And you know, babonisile with the recent games where they kept the core of the team. It tells you they really prepared well for for Champions League.
Yeah, at some point, you know, we've been watching these CAF Champions League matches early on, and of course that's what you get paid for. That's why you have thousands of people watching you talk about football. You have to make calls and you have to make judgments and you have to use the information in front of you to be able to predict what could happen. I made the assumption or the assessment that South Africa is not going to have a CAF Champions League winner this season. I looked at Sundowns and what they were trying to do, particularly when they had Mvala in the midfield and Modiba. It looked confused. And I thought to myself, and I said it outright, because you have to make these calls. You cannot climb the fence when you're doing the kind of job that we're doing. I said Sundowns are not going to win the Champions League. And of course, Chiefs are obviously not going to win the CAF Champions League. When you look at the roster and who else is there, Mazembe, Al Ahly, Wydad Casablanca, so many greater teams than them. It does look like Sundowns now are starting to redeem themselves. They are starting to play the way that Sundowns is supposed to play. And that's a positive thing for them.
Yeah, Nkulego, you know, as a coach, you plan. And looking at with the league to Lana Idlala, you know, every after 2-3 days we're playing, every after 2-3 days we're playing. So now including a CAF Champions League. So I think their plan, that's me. their plan was to let's try and keep everyone in that level of fitness, so that when we have problems with Champions League with players that they can recover, jet lag, injuries, or maybe sick what, and then we do have a depth, but that depth I can be depth because of Ikama, but I can depth because of they can come in and still deliver, and the fitness here it's also in the same level. I think I see why they were changing. Why they were changing up? Well, people they would say maybe I'm protecting the technical team, but from a point of view as a coach, now I see that when you've got a game of an hour and having Champions League, you've got also a cup game, Nedbank Cup. That's a lot. You can't play same lineup, all those games. So you need to balance your team, and the players about pension now. You need to give them that run, so that match fitness is very important. That players they must have match fitness, because training fitness and match fitness, those are two different things. So as a coach, I think that technical team, I would say from my side, from where I'm standing, I will clap hands for them, in terms of balancing that team, because it's very, very important, Kulego, to make sure that, yes, we'll have questions. Ubanban, why is not playing? Ubanban is not playing because of this is what we want. We want to see, but as a technical team, as a coach, I see why they were doing that, and it's gonna work for them, because now they will come back. They need to play Nedbank Cup, they need to play the league, then they need to play again CAF, and it takes a lot. Remember, there's also traveling in that. Kunanilo ntuzana abanye bazothu bathi bateste positive nanani. So they need those boys again ukuthi match fitness yabo at least if it's not 80%, at least 75 or 70, then they can give them something for the game.
All right, very interesting. Of course, Mamelodi Sundowns picking up at the right time, leading for the first time. Every league title that they win, they usually are trailing behind because of CAF matches, but this time around they are leading on top of the DSTV Premiership table. Tso Vilakazi, Sundowns versus Al Hilal, your prediction?
It's a must win for Sundowns. I see them winning at all cost, knowing that they're playing against a big team that we don't know whether they will have supporters there or not. We don't know. So they have to win. I give Sundowns a win, not draw, but a win, because if you play a draw against champions of Sudan, you must know that when you go to the home ground, it's a lose for you guys. So definitely, I give Sundowns a win.
All right, there you go. I think it's still the same COVID situation with them as well in Sudan. So when Sundowns play their second group match, or maybe it will be group match number 4, number 5, at that point, maybe they will still be with the situation of no fans at stadiums. Now then, Orlando Pirates rather, they're taking on Jwaneng Galaxy. They're traveling to Botswana. Same story. We are all familiar with it. Jwaneng Galaxy played Sundowns in the first, one of the preliminary rounds of the CAF Champions League. They dropped off then to the CAF Confederations Cup. They lost 5-1 to Sundowns. And then Orlando Pirates are traveling to Botswana as well. Would we be wrong to assume that it's going to be an easy one for Orlando Pirates, or should they be professional, go to Botswana, get an away goal or 2, and then come back and finish off the game?
It was not a mistake for that team to be champions. That's number one. It means there's something good that they were doing lapana eBotswana. Yes, as much as Botswana city Europe, but we need to take things serious. And I'm worried Pirates. I'm very worried because the Pirates, they keep on changing. Maybe now they're doing the very same thing that Sundowns were doing in terms of trying everyone go to image fitness the same level. Maybe, I don't know. I can maybe people would say I'm a defender and a Pirates, but looking at the fixture, they also gonna play Nedbank Cup, gonna play league, they're gonna play Confederations Cup. It takes a lot. There's also traveling, and you see now this COVID. So now you need to make sure now as a coach, which has in all my players, at least if they're not maybe 90%, at least 80% or 75%, so that whoever, like now they've got, I'll say, a crisis of injuries. Pirates players, because about 8 players balimele. So it's a worrying factor for the technical team Pirates, because of going to these games that are demanding. Your players, they must be ready. Your players must perform at the highest level.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy thing. So going to Botswana Lapana, I know it was Jwaneng Botswana. I played against them while I was there in Botswana, and yeah, and it's nice when Mozobona, some players that you've played with, and Badala Lapana, they've won the league, Champions League, because the captain Utabo, I played with him. He used to play as a right back, Masdala in Otwane FC. And then the goalkeeper, Ishu Tiliana, he was a young boy, Avimba Konlapa Gunotwana. So those boys, like Bengabona, they're coming. So when I see them playing, and I'm like, wow, these are the players that I've played now, and I've played a part in terms of contributing. So Pirates, Mabaya Botswana, look, Golego, they must take this game very seriously. Pirates is a big team. They've got supporters. Kona Lapana Botswana, they'll be opening a TV Lapana Botswana and watch them. So they must go there prepared. We don't want to see Pirates Ibuya like picks a kind of pants.
All right, your final prediction. Then we can't really dwell too much on this one because everything is clear. We all know essentially what happened before with the Jwaneng Galaxy. It's very difficult to dissect it from a deeper analysis standpoint because we don't watch that league, unfortunately. Pirates versus Jwaneng Galaxy.
No, Pirates will win, especially with the last performance. They showed the quality. They've got quality. They've got what it takes to challenge anyone. So Pirates, they're just gonna go there and win.
All right, so there you go. That's Tso Vilakazi's thoughts. He's an iDiskiTV analyst. Of course, it's an opportunity for you to make money if you believe in your hunch and you trust your instinct, and you think you can be able to beat the bookmakers. You can go to worldsportsbetting.co.za, WSP.co.za, and put your money on some of the matches. I know that Virat Kohli has to come back with his Indian team as they play against England tomorrow in a second test match. They lost the first test match to England emphatically. So we shall see how that pans out. Of course, there's money there for you available. There's money for you to make in so many different sporting codes. Thank you very much for watching us.